Sharabutdin Magomedov was born in Makhachkala in Dagestan on May 16, 1994. Dagestan is the land of fighters. The vast majority of great Russian fighters in the martial arts are from Dagestan, despite only having barely 3 million people compared to the overall 145 million Russian population. Especially wrestling holds a particularly important place in the culture of Dagestan. Men from the region often mention that wrestling has been a traditional practice, especially in matches between mountain villages. Dagestan's position in the conflict-prone Caucasus region has historically required a strong fighting spirit. While nearby countries like Georgia, Azerbaijan and Armenia, along with neighboring regions such as Ossetia, Chechnya and Abkhazia, also have rich wrestling traditions, Dagestan remains uniquely prominent even among them. Sharabutdin needed to deal with violence and bullying since the early childhood because he always stood out from the other kids with his red hair. His distinctive appearance made him a target for others, and this is why he needed to learn to fight very early. Dagestan, especially back then, for sure wasn't the place where a boy complains to parents or a teacher that stronger boys beat him black and blue and waits for the avengement of parents. According to many people from the Caucasus, local boys have always been encouraged by their fathers to handle with the conflicts by a fist fight that is perceived by them the masculine way to solve problems. So the only thing left to do for Sharabutdin back then was to learn how to defend himself against his tormentors. However, the martial arts wasn't the first sport he started practicing, and before he entered the world of boxing and Muay Thai, Magomedov discovered football during his early life and was focused on this sport for a few years. Football was his great passion, so he decided to sign up for a local football team. Unfortunately, the local conflicts with other members and his bad-tempered nature led to the point when he got kicked out of his team due to a brawl. The Dagestanian says he experienced a lot of fights during football matches. For example, refers to the brawl when he played as a goalkeeper and some player from the team of opponents stood his way so he wouldn't be able to throw the ball. The obvious reaction of Magomedov was punch in the face of that player, what boiled over into more intense clash very fast because all other players joined the fight. Sharabutdin says in one of the interviews he didn't like going to other cities in Dagestan back then, as he expected troubles because of the conflicts and bad relations with the members of the local football teams. According to the sources available in the internet, people who know him better describe him as a very bad-tempered man. That's why he came into conflicts with other guys. In the interviews with Sharabutdin, we can find out that the fighter experienced many street brawls and also sparred against his friends for fun. As soon as his interest in the martial arts increased, he applied for the same boarding school which his brother already attended, because the school offered not only education but also martial arts trainings. Unfortunately, his application was rejected, and teachers didn't even want to test him to check his skills, refusing to give any explanation of their decision. In the school that Sharabutdin attended instead, he experienced a lot of fights against his schoolmates that took place even a few times a day, according to his reminiscences during interviews. The first of martial arts he started training was boxing. A few years later, he moved to Moscow where he was introduced with Muay Thai. Within 6 years, the Dagestani won the Russian Muay Thai Championship, the Moscow Muay Thai Championship thrice, and the Moscow K1 Championship twice. Amazing as they are, those achievements weren't financially beneficial. It wasn't even enough to pay for his training and the gym membership fees, so this problem made the middleweight to make the most important decision of his whole life, namely, after he developed an excellent striking game, Magomedov transitioned to MMA, which was more profitable. He fought in Asian organizations such as Chinwoo Man and the King Fighting Championship. If I pronounce any of those names wrong, please forgive me. Sharabutdin lost vision in his right eye due to a severe injury sustained during a sparring session while training in Thailand. He initially received multiple surgeries in an attempt to save his vision, but the damage worsened, ultimately leading to blindness in that eye. Despite this setback, Magomedov has continued his career in combat sports. As opposed to his Dagestanian mates, his fighting style doesn't include wrestling. Sharabutdin Magomedov was a Eurasia champion in Burmese boxing and also a Russian Muay Thai champ before turning his attention to mixed martial arts. Also, Sharabullet competed in Muay Thai fights, which had bare-knuckle rules called Lead Way, with headbutts being totally legal. When it comes to his fighting style, Sharabutdin Magomedov doesn't rely on shooting for takedowns. Instead, he utilizes a wide range of striking angles while standing to outmatch his opponents. His approach is versatile, and like many fighters from Dagestan, he doesn't stick to a single method. He makes use of his entire body as a weapon in combat. One of the standout aspects of his style is the smooth way he blends different martial art techniques. That said, his primary preference leans towards Muay Thai. Sharabutdin Magomedov is particularly skilled with techniques like side kicks, axe kicks, crescent kicks, and similar strikes. He can effortlessly transition from a right hip kick to a left head kick. Known as Sharabullet, he doesn't need much room in the octagon to land precise strikes. His leg agility allows him to throw powerful kicks even in tight spaces.